I love how the book of Sirach talks about how personal God is to us. He has no favorites. We are all equal in his eyes, and he hears our cries. They do reach him and won't stop until he responds. He hears the widow, the orphan, and the weak. None of our cries go unheard. Though I know sometimes it feels like he's not listening, or at least not answering. Personally, I have experienced this. I prayed for 6 long years through infertility. I wonder if God would ever give me my heart's desire to be a mother. Finally, I asked God to change my heart if my desires were not aligned with his will for my life. Well, he finally did answer my prayer, and he gave us our precious son, Tyler, though not in the way that we ever would have imagined. But that's a story for another time. I continued to pray for more children. I wanted a carload full. But eventually I came to the realization that that was not God's plan for us. And I had to accept it and be grateful for what he had given us. I had to ask God to help me with this because I had my own set of expectations about what my life would look like. And a mother of 3 was one of them. So a dream had died. And that dream was based on my expectations that I had for my life. And I had to take that to God and talk with him about it. And as he grew me in my faith and dependence on him, I came to realize that his plans are way better for me than anything that I could have dreamt or imagined. And so my motto now is, expectations are joy killers, but hope in the Lord is a joy keeper. I think about how Paul must have felt as he wrote his last letter to his protege Timothy that we read in this weekend's passage. He had hoped of going and spreading the gospel of Jesus for the rest of his life. He had had such a radical conversion from persecuting those who followed Jesus to converting people to follow Jesus. I'm sure he had hoped to live a long, full life of freedom, going all over the world for Jesus. But here in this reading, he was imprisoned for preaching the gospel of Jesus. But he did not get angry with God because things did not work out as he had expected. He knew God had not abandoned him, as our reading in Timothy tells us. And no matter how his life concluded here on earth, which we know was a martyr's death, he said he knew that the Lord would bring him safely to his heavenly kingdom. Paul knew that God's will had been accomplished in his life, even if it didn't turn out the way he expected. God could have gotten him out of prison, just like he did for Peter in the book of Acts, but he didn't. God could have given me 3 or 6 children, but he didn't. Instead, he is working out his will in our lives for the good of those who love him. And for Paul, he knew that. He said, I have completed well. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. From now on, the crown of righteousness awaits me, which the Lord, the just judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearance. And so Paul, he puts our life into perspective. What is it that we're crying out to ask God for? I promise you, he hears them. And while the answers may not come as quickly or in the way that we expect, God hears and he answers. But what if we ask God, our God of justice, who wants the very best for us, to align our heart's desires with his desires, his will for us? I know this is a prayer that God answers. The delay in getting our prayers answered may be because he's trying to get us on his page instead of us getting him on our page. So let's pray like the humble prayer of the tax collector. God, your will be done, not mine.